Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. Now today we're going to be installing a full 4.5-inch long arm lift kit onto Penny. Now, not all the components have arrived yet. We got the leaf springs and the coil springs right here. I got both these off of Marketplace together for a good deal, 150 bucks. Now they both need to be touched up. These are going to be getting sent out to be professionally sandblasted and then powder coated. And then these, we are going to be putting some new bushings in because they are very dry rotted and old, and we're going to be sanding these down and painting them with some black rust stop paint. And then the long arms, I got the Pro-Link, Rock-Link, I think they're the 3-link long arm kit from IronRock. I think it's called like the Pro-Link, Rock-Link or something like that. Hasn't shown up yet. The subframe portion of it is going to be getting sent out to be powder coated as well. When I send these out to get powder coated. But the arms themselves, the actual control arms, are going to be staying. I'm not going to be getting those powder coated. But right now, we are going to be trying to get these old bushings out. I also got the bushings from IronRock, so they're coming in the same package as the long arm kit. But while we are waiting for the bushings to come, we're going to be taking these ones out. And to do that, I just went and I picked this up from Harbor Freight. They had a big parking lot sale where they were doing a 35% off Allmatic stuff. So I got this guy, which is a ball joint press, and we're going to see if we can use this to get those bushings out. So I've been trying to get this out for the past couple hours. I ended up getting the eye out with the press kit, but I've been trying to cut it out. I've been trying to pry it out with a hammer and a screwdriver, and it's not coming out. So I'm going to have to use my air hammer, and I don't have my air compressor here, so we're going to have to wait to do that. So what we're going to be doing instead is we're going to be sanding these down and painting these, and then we will have to just replace the bushings once these are painted. Alright, so I got these things all sanded down. Now I wasn't going for bare metal. I was going for a majority of the rust, like the surface rust, to get off the top, and that's exactly what I did. And what I'm going to be spraying on it is undercoating, and this should stop rust. It should trap rust as well, and it's more of like a rubberized than a paint. So we're going to spray this on. This is actually the exact stuff that I sprayed underneath Penny. I sprayed her axles and everything with this, so it'll be the same for the leaf spring. So let me spray these real quick, and they're going to be looking brand new in no time. Alright, first coat is on. It's looking really nice. A little bit of a close-up. But I bought 2 cans, but I think I'm only going to need 1 because I did all of this on both sides, and then it just needs to be flipped over, and the other side has to be done, and I did it all with 1 can, so I'll just have an extra can. I'm always using this stuff, so it's good to have extra. But I'm going to let this dry for a couple of hours, maybe an hour, I don't know. What does it say? Yeah, it says air dry time minimum 1 hour, so we're just going to let this sit out here for a while, and then we're going to flip it, paint it again, and then hopefully next clip should be me getting the rest of the lift kit, which is the bushings for this, and then the control arms like I told you, and then we can bring that to powder coating, and we can get these bushings out, put the new bushings in, and then start to install it all onto Penny.
Several days later.
We are going to be banging out the full lift on Penny here. We are going to be starting off in the back. Hopefully, if I have my... I'm hoping that I have my air compressor hose in here somewhere. But we're going to be getting these leaf springs in. I need to knock these old bushings out with the air hammer and put the new ones in. And then we are going to be getting all this powder coated goodness put on. And in order to do that, I need to get this wheel off somehow. Last video, I completely rounded off this lug nut right here. So we're going to be trying to get that off today. And then we need to take the control arms out, the shocks out so the axle drops, and then we can take the springs out, and then we can start putting the new stuff in. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Alright, so I don't have my air hose, which sucks because I need it for pretty much everything that I'm doing right now. My lug nut extractor sockets. This fits on here, but I am missing the piece that you need, the extension piece, to put onto here, so I can't do that. I have to go and get my extensions in order to get that off. or I could use the air hammer to just knock the lug nut off. And then, what else? Over here, I was thinking about maybe starting off by getting the control arms off on this side. So I've been heating some of this stuff up. I need to take this shock out. That should be pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It's just the 2 bolts right there. And then there's the 1 bolt right in here. And then instead of unbolting it here, this mount has to be cut off anyway. So I was thinking about just cutting this instead of unbolting this, because it's just going to be a waste of time taking these off. But to get this one off, I've been trying to figure that out because I can't fit my big impact behind there. So I'm charging the battery for my little one, and hopefully I can fit that in there with a socket and a wrench, socket wrench. I don't have a wrench big enough. It's a 21, I believe, bolt, and I don't have a wrench that big. So I think I'm gonna go run and get my my airline for the air compressor so that we can start working on some of the stuff that I wanted to actually work on today. I'm waiting for batteries to charge. I need my little Walmart battery to charge for cleaning off the piece right here so that I can paint it. I have the paint with me to paint that before we put the leaf springs back on because I want it to be all nice, obviously. And then I'm waiting on a couple of other batteries to charge. My big Milwaukee one, another one of my smaller ones. So yeah, let me go run and get that airline and maybe the extensions. I don't even know where they are, if I have them. Yeah. Okay, you guys, I am finally back. I also ended up going to Harbor Freights to get the tools that I needed. Here's what I got. So these were on sale, so I got these instead of the cheapest one, which I was gonna get. The cheapest one was like 30 something bucks. It was like 20 something bucks, and then these were like 30, and then there's a bunch more. But this has the 21 that I need in it. Then I also went and I got some impact rated universal joint adapters. There's a 1/3 in here and a 1/2 inch. I want the 1/2 inch. And I went with Icon over Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh obviously is their cheapest brand and Icon is their best. So this also has lifetime warranty on it. And then I also got an organizer to put all the wrenches in. So I'm going to put these in the toolbox real quick, and then we're going to get to working on this thing. All right, so I'm going to start off by cleaning these on both sides, and then also the top plate that goes on top, and then painting them so we can let those dry while we start to work on other things. This battery should be fully charged now. Maybe not, I'm not sure. But these are the plates that we're going to be cleaning. I think the other one's still on the floor over there. As you can see, it's all rusty and nasty. I didn't get new ones of these, so I want to clean these up and paint them before they go back on penny. All right, so we got these mostly cleaned up. This one's fully cleaned up. I was trying to get this big splotch off, but that's as much as I'm having a stroke. That's as much as will come off. Still not even proper English. I didn't get to finish this side because the battery died on the thing again, because it wasn't even fully charged. I guess that's the downside of having the Walmart friggin' die grinder, but this thing is a little beast. It is holding up pretty well. I got the air compressor going, as you can hear, because we're gonna start trying to get these bushings out of these new leaf springs that are going in and getting the new leaf spring bushings in. Also, I have the truck running because I'm trying to defrost my paint because my paint is completely frozen and it won't come out of the can. So I have the defroster on and I'm just having these warm up a little bit. So hopefully we can paint those things and have them dry before we're ready to put the leaf springs in. But let me get everything all system weighted. I'm all over the place right now. I got lights, an extension cord, and the doors that are going to be going on from the storage unit, as well as the air compressor hose, which is right here. Let me get this out. Let me get the air compressor all set up and see if we can get these leaf spring bushings out. All right, so I got these pieces painted. The back are painted as well. Let me turn the truck off. I think this is done defrosting. If the other one was, then this one definitely is too. I don't even need this one. But I have the air compressor all set up. I'm gonna bring the leaf springs up here, and we're gonna try and get these bushings out.
Well, we got the bushing out. It took forever. Let me see if I can just wrap this shit in. Should probably lay this flat now. If not, I do have to press. I think I'm gonna have to press it in. Maybe not. Oh yeah, new bushing is in. I think I have this set up in a way that it'll push this bushing in real nice. Let me get the socket that goes to this, and then I'll see if I can just zip this in with the impact. Why doesn't this one work? There we go. Well, that went well. Okay. Ooh. All right, so this bushing is now also in. So I got both the bushings in on this one. I just resprayed it a little bit. And you see that bushing is in. This bushing is in. So all that's really left is to do the other one. But I think we're gonna give it a rest for a little bit with the air hammer. And actually, no, we're not going to give it a rest with the air hammer. I'm going to try and get this wheel off. And in order to do that, I need to use the air hammer. I'm going to try and get the air hammer in there and like nick it a little bit so that it turns it. And yeah, you'll see. If anything, I'll end up splitting it in half and then we can peel the lug nut off. But I just want this wheel off. Alright, so here's where we're at right now with the lug nut. So I'm going to give up for now. I'm almost there. I just need to keep chipping away at it and it's getting annoying, so I'm going to take a break from it and I'm going to move on to trying to get some of this stuff off on this side. Now we're just going to chop this off like I said, just jump, and then the shock needs to come out, and then I need to undo the bottom control arm down there, and then hopefully the spring comes out. Alright, so a little bit of an update because I haven't been filming much because it's super hard to film doing suspension work on the ground because the camera has to be like right in front of you and it just gets in the way. So pretty much what I've done so far is I've unbolted the shock from the bottom here, but from the top here I can't get it because it just spins and I don't have the tool to hold the top spindle part while you crank on the nut. So I have to figure that out. Lower control arm is completely taken out. Upper control arm is taken off from the axle, but it's still on the Jeep portion because the nut that's in here is all stripped out. So I'm going to have to cut that, but I need to get more metal blades because my metal blades are all dull and I've been using wood, nail embedded wood blades. But yeah, I think that's all the progress I've really made. Alright you guys, it is a couple days later and I am back working on Penny. Now I just took this front spring out off camera. I ended up cutting the bolt over here, taking this jack out and just pushing the axle down and it slid right out super nicely. Next up we're going to be cutting that upper control arm, this one right here, because I bought a new blade. As you can see, I just used it to cut this guy because we're not going to be running sway bars in the front or the rear because it's a Jeep and it doesn't need sway bars. But This blade was $11. It's like the best metal cutting blade that Diablo makes, so hopefully it is worth the money. So far it has been. But yeah, let's get... Ooh, you know what I just noticed? My steering link is bent right here. That's no good. I think I know exactly what that's from too. I was off-roading once and I hit a rock really hard. I think that's what it's from. You can see that's bent. And I definitely don't think it's supposed to be bent. I'm going to be getting 1-ton steering from CatFab pretty soon, hopefully, so doesn't matter too much. But like I was saying, let's get to work on this. It's already almost dark out because I had to work today, and I'm using all the amount of time that I have to get this done. So yeah, let's stop yapping and get back to work. Alright, you guys, I've been doing a bunch of stuff off camera because I haven't been having the best night. It's fucking freezing here. Nothing seems to want to work. For whatever reason, my arm really hurts. We have been getting some stuff done though. Now in the back here, I put both the rear leaf springs in, the new ones, and they look really freaking good. Super happy with these. Now I don't have the rear shocks to go in yet, so the old shocks are just hanging here for now, but I did put the nut back on for both sides so I can keep track of that. A couple of different things with the rear that I've been looking at. First thing that I'm a little bit worried about is in here, you can see there's like almost an inch. Of course that turns back on now. There's almost like an inch of room where there's just empty space and it's just the bolt. So I don't want the bolt to snap, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna go in any further. So there's that. And then, I don't know, maybe they fixed themselves because the leaf spring wasn't fully in before when I saw it, but these looked a little bit crooked and they were like a little bit loose, but I do think, or I know that we're going to be replacing those because those are some Amazon special leaf spring shackles. I want to get some IronRock ones and get them powder coated the same color that stuff over there is. And I also think that I'm going to be getting a relocation bracket, like one of the well-done ones. I need to look into it because right here you can see the bolt is starting to go through the metal in the back here. And then I think I already showed you guys this, but on the other side, the top bolt isn't even all the way in. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of dark. Is this light gonna work? Yeah, you can see. I don't know why it's flashing. Yeah, you can see it's not all the way in. And that's because the inside, where the threaded portion is on the actual frame, is rusting and it's starting to peel inwards like that. So the thread, when I threaded it in, started pushing it in. So, let me turn this off because it's almost dead. Yeah, so I need to get new brackets. I need to look into that. I don't even know anything about that. I don't know if you have to cut the old ones out and weld new ones in, or if they're bolt-on, or what goes on with that. So that'll be happening eventually. This is the other side. I have the leaf springs in. I need to tighten these a little bit, but I want to lift this up, put the wheels back on, and see how much of a lift it actually gave it. Because like I said, I don't know what size lift these leaf springs are even supposed to be. So let me do that real quick and then I'll throw you guys back on. So here's what it looks like all set down. We got a noticeable amount of difference. I wonder what size tire I could actually fit in here now. I'm gonna measure real quick, or I don't think I even have a tape measure with me. Well, once I do get a tape measure, I'll eventually measure, and then we'll see how big of a lift this actually is. Because combined with this, and then also it's on the bottom portion of the lift shackle as well, we will have to see, but the camera just doesn't do it justice. It's a lot higher than it was. But yeah, so we're going to leave that for now, since that's finished. I do want to try, since I got one of these springs out in the front, I want to try and get one in, so that, I can see what it looks like. And honestly, it can just stay there because it's not going to be in the way. So yeah, I'm going to do that real quick and then I'll throw you guys back on. All right, you guys, it is another day, but I did eventually get this guy in and it is looking really freaking good. It matches really well with the amber fire. The axle is pulled back a little bit, but the good news is off camera, I've spent about 3 hours trying to get that circled lug nut off, and I finally got it off. Wheel is off. We're never using this wheel again. This is like the wheel of shame. I don't know if I even showed you this. I was gonna just cut the whole wheel off, but I eventually got it off. And you can see, yeah, not much left holding on. But yeah, we're gonna have to put a new stud in here, but we are finally good to start taking this side of the suspension apart. So that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be taking the control arms off on this side, the sway bar, the spring, the shock, and then we're gonna start to get the new stuff on. I still don't have the shocks yet. They're not gonna be put on in this video most likely. But we need to get the new spring in, and then we need to start working on cutting these guys off, the control arm mounts. But yeah, let's stop yapping and let's get straight to it.
I've been painting every fence I know, every color pleasing to the same. Cause before you go and walk away, yeah, you better know where you're going. You're a wanderer just like me.
Alright guys, so here is how far we have gotten. Now, as you can see, spring is in on this side now. We got both the control arms off. I need to take it off on the top here still, but this bottom control arm is completely out. We're starting to cut off the lower control arm bracket because it's no longer going to mount to here. It's going to mount to the subframe right here. I ended up cutting the shocks because I don't want to deal with them right now, and new shocks aren't going in this video anyway, so I just want to get this done first. That's future Tyler's problem. But we made some good distance here. This is where I'm going to have to leave it for tonight because it is getting late, as you can see. And yeah, so I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, you guys, it is another night. We are back. Now, right where we left off last time, we're going to continue to cut this mount off, then we're going to go on the other side and cut the other one off. And then we're going to get into taking this cross member down, but first we have to cut through this, and this has been pretty annoying, so let's get to it. So this side is all cut off now. That's as much as I can get off right now. So we're going to be switching over to the other side and doing pretty much the exact same thing. Just chopping this entire mount off. So it is about an hour or two later, and I still have not cut that mount out. And that is because I decided to tackle the whole subframe thing first, and I've been doing some work with it. I got the old subframe out, the old transmission mount out, and the new transmission mount is in. That's the new one. Of course, I didn't film any of it, but I figured I should probably set the camera up and start to film some of this because the new control arm mounts are going in right now. I tapped the hole for this one. You're supposed to pull this stud, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna reuse the bolt on it. I don't think it'll matter too much. I do know that these arms are 100% gonna have to come back out because there is a way that you're supposed to like measure them to make sure that they are the correct length spun out. And I didn't do that, and I can't even like really look into it and look it up on my phone because my phone is dead and I have no service here at all. So I'm just going to set the camera up. We're going to finish mounting the subframe in, and then I think we're going to call it for tonight. And then we'll be back tomorrow to completely finish everything. I'll do some research before I come back. But yeah, stop yapping, get back to work.
I've been painting every fence I know, every color pleasing to the sight. 'Cause before you go and walk away, yeah, you better know where you're going. You're a wonder, just like me.
Alright, I don't know how well you were able to see, but I got this cross member in. Hold on, let me get a light. Alright, now that y'all can see, I got this in. It looks really good. I'm super happy with it. But I'm an idiot, and somehow I installed the transmission mount in the wrong way. Now, the way that the holes line up on this guy right here, you have to have this a certain way, and I don't have it the certain way apparently. So I have to take it all apart and flip this around. I even like tried to make sure that I had this in the right way, and I guess I just didn't do it right. So this is gonna have to get taken apart, but this is what I'm gonna be calling it for tonight because it's already almost like 9 o'clock, and I gotta work tomorrow. So we're gonna leave this here for now. I'd rather take my time and do it right anyways. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, so I lied, and it is so freaking late right now. I am so like half asleep. I'm about to go home, but I want to show you what I accomplished. I ended up staying, and I mounted the entire subframe is in, as you can see. Transmission is mounted to it. I started to test fit one of the control arms. I have to take it out again and then do the measurement thing to make sure it's all correct. But it looks really freaking good. I am super happy with this. Super excited to see what it looks like once it's all put together, once it has shocks on it, once the new wheels and tires are on it, and see how tall it's sitting. But it looks really freaking good for right now. But yeah, I'm super tired, so I will see you guys tomorrow when we finish installing this lift. We are back at it. It is another very rainy day. Right now we are installing the upper control arm into the upper control arm mount. I pulled it off because you're supposed to put it on before you put it in because the bolt won't fit through because the drive shaft's in the way. So I just had to pull all that out. Last night before I left, I mocked up one of the control arms, and I know it's facing the wrong way. The bend's supposed to go in so you clear more tire. But yeah, we're gonna start to put this together. And I got my tape measure. I had to bring that today because I didn't have that last night. And I've been measuring and doing all that and trying to do it the best way possible. This is 100% going to a professional shop, and they are going to double check all my work and make sure it's good. And they're going to be doing a full alignment on it, caster and all. So why am I always out of breath? Yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Alright, you guys, it is a couple of hours later, and holy shit, it is finally done. This is what we're looking like. It's sitting on its own suspension right now. I cut the fuck out of my hand with the grinder. Gore warning. It's not even gonna focus. This lens is such a piece of shit. But it is all put together. Now, like I said, I'm going to be getting this thing professionally aligned, so that means they're probably gonna have to take these guys off to align them. Whatchamacallit, for the caster, which is pretty much how much the axle is like this way or that way. You want it to be obviously perfectly straight. But the rear is a lot higher than the front is. You can't tell on this side because of the no fender, but you can on this side. You can see how much higher it is in the rear right here than it is right here. And that sucks because I don't want to take these out and put the spacer I have in because it's such a pain in the ass, but I might as well. Just for now, until I can get longer springs to match the rear, but I also did just get these ones powder coated, so I don't want to waste the money on that right now. But it has no shocks in it, so it is super wiggly, loose. But yeah, I am absolutely shot. This took like a week, a lot longer than I thought it was gonna take. What I thought I would be able to do in like everything. I'm just so shot. I thought I was going to be able to do everything in a week, and it ended up me taking just a week to do the suspension, the lift. So that sucks, but here we are. Now, next thing we are going to be tackling is I have to sort a couple of loose ends on this. I need to tighten all of the adjustment portions of the long arms, so I'll do that off camera. And then we're on to the doors. Obviously, I need to cut this piece out. I'm gonna have a professional probably patch that. I need to see if I can bend this out anymore. I've already started, as you can see. We need to get this door on, but we need to weld the new hinge in here first. And then I think it's just rock sliders that need to go in, which those will be welded in. But yeah, I'm super happy to finally have this finished. It's awesome to see it all together. I'm definitely going to be getting an IronRock boomerang shackle, and then I'm getting the Ironman 4x4 Fab relocation kit because I already told you that at the beginning of the video. And yeah, I'm just rambling now, so I think this is where I'm going to be ending off today's video. I am super excited to finally have the LongArm lift kit in. Let me know what you guys think, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you in the next one. Peace.